Imagine being locked up for months, with no court date in sight, no chance to argue for your release, just detained indefinitely, while your case slowly moves through the system. That's exactly what thousands of migrants across the U.S. have been facing under the Trump administration's mass detention policy. But on Thursday, a federal appeals court stepped in and said, enough. In a 2-to-1 ruling, the New Orleans-based 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals decided that Immigration and Customs Enforcement cannot detain migrants for more than 90 days without giving them a real chance to seek release on bond. This is a big deal, because this same court had actually sided with the Trump administration back in February, agreeing with a controversial legal interpretation that allowed mandatory detention for non-citizens already living inside the United States. Not just people arriving at the border. But that earlier ruling never answered one crucial question. Does the Constitution's due process protection still apply here? This time, the answer was yes. Writing for the majority, Judge Leslie Southwick, a George W. Bush appointee, put it powerfully, saying the Constitution makes no exceptions in providing basic rights to those within our boundaries, including a right to be heard when personal liberty is taken. But this decision wasn't unanimous. Judge Cory Wilson, appointed by Trump himself, strongly disagreed, arguing that the majority was undermining Congress's constitutional authority over immigration matters. The case involved 2 Mexican citizens and 1 Honduran national, and a lawyer representing them at the American Immigration Council called it a recognition of a core constitutional principle, that due process doesn't allow the government to lock people away indefinitely. The Department of Homeland Security, however, isn't backing down. They've said they disagree with the ruling and remain confident in their legal position. And just last week, they'd already asked the Supreme Court to review a similar decision from a different appeals court. So what happens now? This ruling could directly affect thousands of detained migrants across Texas and Louisiana, potentially forcing bond hearings for people who've been held well past the 90-day mark. But with the administration pushing back and eyeing the Supreme Court, this legal battle over how America detains immigrants is far from over. What do you think? Should there be a hard limit on how long someone can be detained without a hearing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.